But I have some papers out here that I'm going to share with you. But my name is Mary Pat Elledge. This is my office, and I have an office over off of Custer in the George Bush. But I love working here because this is where I live. And I'm just happy to have you here in my office. And I wanted to give you this quote. I have two quotes for you today. One of them is from my mother. And she said, if you don't toot your own horn, it probably won't get tooted.
Sage advice.
Right? Well, it's not really sage advice, but it's my mother's advice. But anyway, she was a teacher. My dad was a veterinarian. And she wrote a book, she wrote poetry, and she had a big influence on my life. And so when I got into the business of real estate, I thought that I needed a logo saying, and I didn't think that might not be quite professional about the horn getting tooted. So my byline is practicing the golden rule. And I know she'd be proud of me too to have that saying for my business. So I've been in the business 20 years now, and my husband and I moved around a lot, and I'll tell you a story about that. We both grew up in Texas. He went to business school, got his master's in business, and then he was drafted into the service. And thus, there's my love for this memorial tribute that we are trying to do here in Murphy, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But so we were Texans and we loved Texas. But when he got out of the Army, he got a management position with a large company. And so we lived here 2 years, had our first child, and we were transferred. And I thought I would always live in Texas, and I loved it, and my family was here and everything. We got transferred to Delaware, Ohio. Well, all I heard was Delaware, so I knew where the state of Delaware was, but I had no idea anything else. So we moved up there, and I was just kind of melancholy. I wasn't myself. I was out of my little cocoon. And so for about 6 months, we had a 1-year-old child, and I just really was, I guess now looking back, I was depressed. But about 6 months into that, I thought, you know what, this is no way to live. I can't function feeling this way. And I didn't have my family behind me and all that, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to have to get out and make myself live. And so we joined a church. I got involved with the welcome wagon. Some of you may remember that. And I started making friends, and I just felt myself blossoming. I thought, this is what I need. I need people. I need friends. And so we were there for 4 or 5 years. And when we left, oh my gosh, it was so hard. We had all these friends, and I had another child up there. And so I thought, okay, well, we're going to move. Where did we move to from there? We moved to Salina, Kansas. Talk about being in the middle of the middle, and I'm nowhere. And I thought, well, we're going to like this place. And so we did. And we were only there 2 years, and we moved to Kansas City, which was the big city. Yeah. And my husband, of course, I sing his praises. He knew his business. He was liked by other people. So they would put him in trouble spots. And that meant that we were going to be moving more. And of course the kids were getting a little bigger, they were getting friends, they didn't want to move, so forth. But from there we moved to Kansas City, we moved to Delaware, we were in Delaware, we moved to Kings Mountain, North Carolina, we moved to Temple, Texas. You don't think I was happy about moving back to Texas? I sure was. And we were there 8 years. We moved back to Kansas City. Then we moved to Florida, Orlando. And all that time, I was just continuing to have a love for the people that I met. Every place we moved, we've tried to keep up with those friendships. And so I'm just telling you that story because your attitude is really important in your life. And your attitude affects your altitude. And if you don't have that higher altitude, you're just not gonna love what God has given us. And so that's kind of why I wanted to tell you where I was at right now. When we moved back here to Murphy, my husband retired several years later, and of course I was out there meeting people. It's just part of my nature. Part of my nature was not that way, but I turned myself around and made it that way. And I think a lot of it was my mother's influence. I wish I brought her book. Maybe I'll share that another time. But so when I got here, I got involved with the community. I knew at that time we had bought and sold 7 houses, I believe, or 9. And I thought halfway through, I think I can do this. I think I can do the process. It seems so simple on the other side. But you know what? It's not real simple, but I can do it. And so I got my license. I passed my test the first time. I was proud of myself. It's not an easy test. It's not easy. It's not an easy business. There's a lot of ups and downs in real estate, just like in insurance or, real estate. Every business has ups and downs. Yeah. So if you can't keep yourself elevated,
that's right.
You just are going to miss out on the blessings that God has for you. And so that's why I chose my byline instead of the other byline, practicing the golden rule. And I believe in that, and I think it's helped I know it's helped with my attitude and with my business, and also with the Murphy Veterans Tribute that we're trying to get together and do in Murphy. So just kind of want to tell you that background story. Usually people don't have time to tell their life story in 5 minutes. So that's kind of it. But I just kind of wanted to tell you about that. And then when I started having my business here, I just got out there and talked to people. And I loved on them when they moved like I had to move and pack everything and leave their family. I could connect with them. And I think that's what I do pretty well now with my clients. And so, as being a realtor, there's 2 parts of being a realtor, the buying side of the home and the selling side. I particularly like the selling side because it gives me a chance to get to know my folks better. And the buying side is sometimes I get a phone call, I won't really know them, but we'll get out and we'll get to know each other. But my artistic side loves to list homes. So that's why I've shared a few things with you today. I wanted to just show you a little bit about what I do in my marketing. I think marketing is really important in selling your home. And so I have these bifolds that I put in my listings, and I have business cards that I give to my sellers so they can spread the word too. And if you want to pick any of this up, it's fine. But on the back it has my information, so they can get. Oh, 1 more minute left. Yeah. Is that all?
That's okay.
I have a lot more in me. Then I leave these in the house. So I just, I think they realize that I really care. When I go to all this trouble, I pick up the tab on all my advertising. Then real quick, I want to show you this. And I'd like for you, I'm going to pass these around. This is kind of on the back of this. It tells a little bit about me. And on the other side, it tells about selling a home. And I'd love for you to take that. Any of these can serve as a big business card for me too. So if you know somebody, I love to do this work, love to get to know the folks that I work with. And so if you know somebody that's wanting to sell their house, a neighbor, a friend, just have them take a chance and give me a call. I'm low pressure sales. I'll just tell the facts, you know? And so that would be great if you did that. And so please think about me when you think about your home and think about your friends. All it takes is a phone call. I'll go talk to them. Everybody has a choice, and I'd like to be their choice. So I guess that's it. I didn't get
10
to
minutes goes
my
by fast.
Murphy tribute information, but we are doing our paper sales now. And so if you know a veteran or you want to honor them in our tribute, we're really doing good on our paper sales. So I have that up here, have this, and I think I could probably talk 10 more minutes, but I don't know for you. But anyway.
If you have a minute commercial for your other business, which is the Murphy Veterans Tribute, you can do that.
Oh, okay.
Because it's your second business.
Yes, it is. It really is.
She has a membership.
Right, Ruth? Right, Bobby. There are 2 board members here. I don't see anybody else. Okay, real quick. The paper program, this is it. If you want this, if you know somebody that'd like to have a paper. But also now we've rolled out our levels of giving. And we have our plans now. We just got those last Friday. Is a minute already up?
No, that's not.
Okay.
You got 36 seconds.
Okay, so we have our levels of giving now. I know that we've talked about your company. If you have a company, Luke and I are meeting, and we're going to talk some strategies after this. This is, it could be a full-time job for me, but I have my other business too. So, but we would like to talk to you about that if you want. We're going to have benches over there at the site, which is close to most of you know where the site is, and in Central Park. So that's about all I have, but if you know somebody, I've got plenty of these that you can pick up. And that's it. Thank y'all.
When are you going to have the papers put down?
They will be put down. That's a good question. Thank you, Donna. The papers will be part of the first phase. And we call it first and second phase because we got to get the footprint down. I didn't bring my big sign that shows it, but I think most of you've seen it. And that's what we had to move the ground, put the footprint, and then it's all going to try to go in. Our manager of our site is a real professional. She thinks it'll only take about 3 months to get it done. So if we can get out there and get the funds for it, and we did just try to get a grant. We put in our paperwork last week for the Collin County Parks, and we have a pretty good chance of getting that. The overall cost, the overall cost right now, the Ruth View, it's around $250,000, $300,000.
And 3 or 325,000.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we have. We have around 60,000 from past things that we've done, fundraisers. So if we can get some of these grants and so forth, like the benches, if you want your name on a bench, we only have 7 benches. If you want that, there's you can donate towards that. Ruth, would you want to say anything about the tribute?
I think you covered it.
Oh, good. Bobby, you want to?
Oh, good.
Okay, good. All right, well, thank y'all so much. I really enjoy the friendships I've made here, and I plan to continue till I can't. Okay.